Alright, let's look at Nando De Colo game management and decision film. It's the fourth time I'm doing it. A couple times it didn't record the right way, so I'm gonna repeat myself again and again. But the three things that we need to look while we're watching this film is: number one, it's how he generates his easy points. He takes pressure away from himself by getting about 25% of his points in running in fast break, getting early opportunities, cutting, spacing out above the 3-point line after initial drives. Second part is going to be screen and roll, how he gets his shots off, how he goes at the rim, and what advantages that creates. And then third, how he plays at the end of the games on switch coverage, and how he gets his shot off and what decisions he makes during the switch defense. So it's about 15 clips. I'm gonna break it down each and every one, and let's don't waste any time. Let's get to work. Okay, he's definitely a scorer, but as every great scorer, they always look for easy buckets. So in this case, he's running the floor, he's getting behind the defenses as fast as he can. He always takes out. This time he doesn't get on the initial cut, he just doesn't stop. He gets above the 3-point line and gets an easy bucket. Defenses are most likely gonna be scrambling in the first 8 seconds, not having their right matchups. So just like in this one. Okay, let's break this one down real quick. So he always tries to get the ball early so he can push. He's in the mix. He doesn't get it from the beginning, but he still runs the floor. Okay, so all 5 guys from Maccabi is looking at the ball. Jalen Reynolds is not in the paint. That's one of the best opportunities to attack the paint. Goodrich sees that the defense is shifting to the ball. He makes a good cross pass. Now De Colo, being a great shooter, he's gonna always use the same pattern. 1-2 step in. He's gonna get those fakes, so there's gonna be a defender who's gonna be coming at him. He's gonna be respecting his shot, so this time defender lunges, and then he goes by, staying low, going straight at that rim. Now Reynolds not being in stance on the catch, and De Colo recognizes it. He takes advantage, and he's really comfortable at going at that second line of the defense. He just splits him with 1-2, gets into a spot, knocks down. Okay, now he's an all-around player. As we said, he plays defense, he chases, he gets his hands up, so there's maybe a little bit of disadvantage created on that pass for the ball handler, taking away the opportunity to make pass for that live guy. Anyway, there's a turnover. He's always looking to push the ball. Again, defense is scrambling, everybody's looking, pointing. Now the cut takes away 2 defenders, and that gets Pierre Henry open. Okay, always seeing the best possible outcome for the team. Okay, now most of the time, being the great player that he is, he's gonna have best defenders on him. Taylor's really pressuring him, picking up 94 feet. He's just busting through those screens, so he needs to work extra. Now he doesn't back off. He gets that screen. Screen is burying Taylor behind, gives De Colo advantage. Now think about De Colo in his screen and roll game is, even though he's flopper at times, even though he looks soft because of it, but the guy is really determined to get to the paint. That's why he's one of the most leading free throw attempts players in the league. And 2/3 of the time in the screen and roll situations, even though he has a pull-up here, right here, he's gonna go at that big, and he has that great skill of putting that last dribble and putting the body on that big defender to take away of his shot blocking ability and moving him out of his stance so he can get those N1 situations and better looks at that rim. Okay, so he's fighting, he's battling, he's been picked up full court. Okay, there's multiple action to get him open, but then at the end he knows that he needs to produce. And again, he reads that there's a switch defense, so there's advantage not as big as in the previous clip. He reads that the defender is going around that screen too much as in previous clip, and he knows that this is his play call. So what he does, he knows that Derek Anderson is going to try to contain him, but he's also have to worry about Vesely because he's a great roller. And there's a lot of times where Colo makes that lob pass, so everybody's going to be worrying about two guys at once. But what he also does, he recognizes that he's not going to get his shot off right away, so he stretches out that defender number 2, and he gets into a spot so he can have that cleaner look. He's always trying to get high percentage shots in the screen and roll. Very, very little amount of shots are contested. Okay, again, moving without the ball, getting behind that 3-point line again, taking speed. Okay, and then they point Vesely to Colo. Even though they didn't do anything, I mean, they did hell of a job, but they didn't finish with the score. But Vesely does a great job on the cut, and it's a play, of course. But even though he has that shot here, he can pull it up anytime he wants. He rewards the big for making those screens possession in, possession out. And then the next time, Devin Booker and Jan Vesely, they're going to make the better screens. They're going to get him more open. And they're going to run that much harder to the rim just because they're rewarded. Sets up his man, comes off the handoff. Again, making the read. Coming off full speed. Okay, Devin Booker, like we saw in previous clips, he got rewarded, so he's going to set good screens. Now Colo reads that Thomas maybe in the drop, he might have a pull-up, but what he also sees that on the strong side, that defender that's supposed to be the first defender on that pass line, he's way too low, and Deshaun Pierre is dragging him maybe lower than he needs to be. But again, Colo, he's just going to take that open space for the advantage. He's going to create his shot for that little bit of separation to get that cleaner look. Okay, so he just gets away from the defender with the rhythm dribble into a steps, and then when he's squared up, the defender is not bothering him at all. And what he does, he just finishes with his perfect follow through, landing in the same spot, holding follow through, and making coach call timeout. Again, now a lot of times he's going to be going towards the basket. Like we said, 2/3 of the time, he's going to try to get to the paint, even though he has those uncontested pull-ups. But what he does when he gets in there, he's going to get that defender, the big defender, engaged to him. And then at the very end, when the defender is losing his stance, he's going to make that drop-off pass to the big. Now that drop-off pass causes vertical switch. There are two defenders on the ball, so they're scrambling. Now we have mismatches. And Colo using his fakes, getting defenders out of their stance. They're lunging at him, because he's a respectful shooter. And when he goes straight at that defender, again with the signature bump and separation. Okay, now when the big steps up, especially in the switch situations, that's the best time to attack them right away. Make them move. Usually they don't like to stay in front of those faster guards. And again, when he goes, he lowers his shoulder, he goes right at that hip, he goes right at that rim, and then again, last dribble, a little bump off, and then having different types of finishes around the rim. That's what gets good players in the more advantageous situations when they're attacking their rim. Okay, another switch situation that he caused it because of his aggressiveness. Takes that mismatch advantage to create that shot for the teammate. Okay, that's a long clip. Let's break it down real quick. Okay, he's in the mix. He's always trying to get easy opportunities, but he sees that 3 defenders are back. So he gets into his drag screen. There's ice. He doesn't hesitate. He attacks that big. Now when he attacks that big, he sees that maybe Goodrich is in the corner, but he also sees that Danilo is open on that 45. After the pass, he doesn't stand. He spaces out. Team does a great job recognizing the mismatch. Yep. And then again, fakes, getting the defender move either up, left, right, back. In this case, he moves him up and back. And Kuzmic is not the defender that can stand in front of the Colo, of course. But then again, he's really good at getting to the rim and then using different types of footwork. This time like a Euro pass. Okay, a little no look. So a good shooter on the corner. There's a switch. And there's that shot. Okay, let's take a look what happens here. Okay, so with 8 seconds, there's a switch. Okay, now what the Colo does, he doesn't rush right away, even though there's only 5.5 seconds left on the shot clock. What he does, he still takes his time. He gets to that 45. He makes sure that Murtoglu is spaced out on the opposite 45, and he gives Devin Booker time to get into the post. Now when everybody is spaced out, this is when he goes to work. Now he reads. If Joel Bolomboy has his both feet above the 3-point line and he has his both hands up because he respects his shot, and De Colo is great going at his left and pulling up, what De Colo does, he's making him move a little bit back, forward, and then he's going to go to work. When he goes to work, he sees that the nail is pretty covered. He's not going to get straight line at that rim. But what he also does, he really gets the shot off quick. Okay, he doesn't go too far on his last step. He goes right under that ball, and he has that little fade away into his shot without forcing anything and taking what the defense gives. So he doesn't take that shot from a hang dribble because he sees that Bolomboy is doing a good job of staying in front. And what he does, he moves him a little bit, and then he takes last dribble into a pull-up. Okay, now the switch. Again, he's patient. He's reading that defender. And he's getting into his rhythm shot. Now in this one, it's happening really quick. That's what great players do. They read the stance and then they make the decision. So on this one, okay, he doesn't have much space to go because corner is occupied, post is occupied. Sean Pierre, he's not doing too much of a help. Also staying on top. He needs to maybe move more towards the 45 on the wing. But anyways, De Colo, he still handles the ball. He moves that defender up and down. Now on that last dribble, he sees the defender dropped his hands down and he got below the 3-point line. He picks up the ball and he shoots. But he's always in pace. He's always first giving time everybody to space out. Then he reads the defender and then he makes the decision. Okay, this is the last one. Up 4. Seska scrambling. They're trapping. Getting the ball to the Colo, because this is the guy who needs to make the decision. Okay, he doesn't have a ball in his hands, but he's good at moving without the ball even in those situations. Late game shot clock, still manages with same calmness like he does manage in the first, second, and third quarter. So Cska is getting into his switch defense, okay, trying to put the best defender on that screen and roll so there's no disadvantage. But what Guruc does, he recognizes that he has Voigtman. That's pretty bad defender compared to the 3 other guys, not including Shved. So he goes right at the rim, causing rotations. Bolon Boy steps up, Shved is in the drop, Hackett has to go to X rotation, and then the Colo does what the Colo does. He's always being ready when the ball comes to his hands. If it's an open shot, he will take it, but he sees that Clyburn is lunging at him. He gets off balance with a good fake, and then he just takes those uncontested shots. As many uncontested shots as possible, as many easy baskets as possible, being determined to go to the rim in screen and roll situations to get more free throw attempts, which will give him more confidence in late shot clock situations, late game situations. And that's what makes him an elite player, that he is EuroLeague champion and he's still producing, being in his late 30s. And the guy is really amazing to watch. So I hope that helps. Best of luck of going forward, and good luck in upcoming playoffs.